I have a second channel, Cube Comp MTDX. Hey everybody, this time I'm going to talk about a way you can actually get a better brew of coffee out of your Keurig My K-Cup reusable filter. So this is actually the older style Keurig My K-Cup, and I'm not sure if this method would work with newer ones, but in these older My K-Cups, inside here, you have this reusable coffee filter, which is not the greatest. It does let some grounds get through, and the coffee does, the water when it comes through, it doesn't spend much time in the grounds before it falls out and goes into your cup through this little hole here. So the coffee doesn't really have a very bold taste to it, in my opinion. So I found a way that you can actually get a better cup of coffee out of one of these things, and it involves doing away with this right here. So essentially, inside of a regular K-cup that has grounds in it, when you peel this off of here, you have, this is a used one, as you can see. You have the grounds inside here, and once you dump those out, which give me a second to do, and I'll go and do just that. Inside, you can see we have a coffee filter. Now, of course, this in here needs to be rinsed out, but I have several that I've kept and have rinsed out. This is one right here. So you're essentially reusing a standard disposable K-cup. So more or less, instead of using this, you're just using a regular K-cup. You would just take this, stuff this down in here, and as you can see, it fits perfectly. And then this goes right on top like that, and voila, you have a better filter. The reason why I think this is better is because in the actual K-cups, you can see there's a little hole in the bottom that was punctured by the machine. So the water actually spends a little bit more time in the grounds, and you seem to actually get a better tasting cup of coffee because of that. So these filters in here, they're not the same as your paper filters that you would use in your drip brewer, like what I have over next to the stove. These, it's a different kind of material. It's like a mesh material. You can actually get several uses out of this material. So that's what it looks like right there. Now, depending on who manufactured the K-cup, this material may be a little different. As you may have seen, this was not a genuine Keurig K-cup, but I'm sure the genuine ones are probably about the same in design. So we'll go over to the Keurig and we're going to make a cup of coffee using this filter. Okay, so now we're over at the Keurig, and you can see I have a collection of these filters. You just rinse them out real good. You can use like a toothbrush or something in there to really clean them out. And they're not going to be perfect by any means, but once you do that, you let them air dry, or it might be better if you actually fan dry these things. That way they dry faster, because you don't want any mold or anything to develop in these things. But so what we're going to do is we're going to take our regular ground coffee. So this also saves you some money. If you don't actually have a My K-Cup, there is a way you can actually use these by themselves, but it's not perfect. I'll talk about that in a moment. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and just take some ground coffee. I usually do like a spoonful and a half now, and of course you would adjust to your own preference. So you can see we got our grounds inside there. Let's go ahead and close this up. And we'll go ahead and just take our My K-Cup. Instead of using the reusable filter that comes with it, we're going to use this. Just pack that right in there just like that, where it's flush with the top. And we'll just go ahead and put this on there like that. And you may notice I have an O-ring inside this thing. This thing used to leak water around the top, so I took an O-ring and some black hot glue and actually fixed this in there, and it doesn't leak anymore. Some people are saying, oh, you should replace the O-ring that's on the Keurig. Well, I'm looking at it and it's perfectly fine. The ridges are not worn or anything. So this does help seal it. That way water doesn't escape around the sides. So what we'll do is we'll take our Keurig K-Cup piercing mount out and set it to the side, and this just drops in its place. Okay, now we're ready to go ahead and brew. Okay, so then what you would do is you would take this apart, take the K-Cup out, rinse it out real good, and let it dry, and you could reuse it again. So there's our black coffee. Of course, I'm going to add some creamer to that. But that's how you can actually get a better cup of coffee out of your My K-Cup. Simply put your reusing K-Cups with the filter inside, which gets you seems to get you a better brew, because again, the water spends a little more time inside here versus with the stock reusable filter, which gets you a better tasting cup of coffee. Okay, so let's say you don't have a My K-Cup. All you have is just your disposable K-Cups and you wish to reuse them with your own grounds. You can do that. What I see a lot of people do is they take, at least on YouTube videos, I see they take aluminum foil, they fill the filter up with their preference of coffee, and then they take aluminum foil on the top, crimp it around the sides, secure it on really well, essentially mimicking the way that K-Cups are packed in their factory. However, this method is not perfect, because sometimes you'll get leakage on the side, because of course in the factory they secure the full top with the glue so you don't get leakage on the side. I tried that one time, and while it didn't leak much, it's just, I mean, you will get some leakage on the side, so you gotta be careful about that. I think it's better when you actually have the My K-Cup, because this acts like a perfect substitution for the reusable filter that they come with. So anyways, that's how you can get a better brew out of your My K-Cup. I'm going to add some creamer to this. I really like these seasonal creamers that they sell at Aldi. This one's butter cookie. Let's go ahead and stir that up real good. And I don't see any loose grounds in there. That's real nice. As mentioned with this one, it always seems like some real fine grounds can find their way through, but it hasn't seemed that way with the when reusing the filters in these K-Cups. Okay, everybody, so I'm actually adding this clip into the previous video footage. So fortunately, I got my hands on an actual Keurig K-Cup. This is one of the ones that has, you know, the genuine Keurig logo on it. And this is a Starbucks branded K-Cup. Both of these are. This one here is a, or it was a French roast, French roast flavored ground coffee, which I had that order today. So my mom, she got a couple of these as a gift, and she don't have a Keurig, so she gave them to me. So there you have it. So this Starbucks K-Cup is definitely different than the Aldi Burismo K-Cup. You can see the material that the filter is made of is definitely different. This here is like a paper material. Not sure exactly what this one is. This here is definitely easily reusable. I've reused this several times in that My K-Cup as a filter. This one here, I don't think would hold up for long at all. It's just a paper material. But what's interesting, when you shake this around, there's something inside there. Whereas this one is just empty. So we're going to go ahead and finish pulling this out of here and see what is inside there that's making that noise. Yeah, this is just paper, like a paper filter. Interesting. So you pull this out. So it appears Keurig, or at least the genuine Keurig K-Cups, have this little strainer inside. Not really sure what that does. Yeah, I'm shaking this around. I was like, what's that noise? So that's what that is. Whereas this this K-Cup, as mentioned, it just has this material here. And if you look at the bottom of these, you can tell these are from different OEMs. So there's several different OEMs that pack these things. Matter of fact, the genuine Keurig Starbucks is labeled as Phoenix. There's a different logo on this one. Not sure what company that is. Let's look at the bottom of this other one. Yeah, this one too says Phoenix. You know, when I shake this one around, you don't hear the strainer, but it's probably because the pod is still packed full of grounds. So I'm looking at this one here. This one here says Phoenix. This was just a that one was just a cappuccino. And I think I know which one that came from. Yeah. So Great Value. The Great Value branded cappuccinos apparently use the same OEM packer as Starbucks. So I had to question. Now, so I don't have any Great Value branded pods with grounds, but I have to wonder if I was to get some, if they would have this style filter in them. So really, it depends. The information I mentioned in the previous clip really depends on where you're getting your pods from and who packs them. Because this supplier here, the material they use, the filter material they use, is definitely, I'd say it's more rugged. It would hold up quite a bit longer to reuse. So as mentioned, I've reused this pod numerous times as a filter in my K-Cup, and I still get a Although this is kind of darkened from getting stained from coffee, I still get perfect cups out of this with no loose grounds or nothing. So that's something I want to go ahead and add into this video, because I'd say it really depends on the pods you get, where they come from. I find it interesting that the Great Value, the Walmart brand, apparently their supplier uses the same Phoenix OEM release for packing the grounds in. So anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Well, everybody, that's it for this video, but don't forget there's a lot more interesting stuff on the channel to check out. Also, if this is your first time visiting this channel, feel free to subscribe to keep your channel, and also don't forget to tick the bell so that way you'll get notified of new video posts. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, but if you really didn't like it, there is the alternative option available as well. Also, feel free to check out my second channel, Keurig MTDX. There you'll find videos about bicycling, weather, elevator tours, and all sorts of other neat, interesting stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to come back, and thank you for your support.